Good morning, Hope City. My name is Alexis, and I'm one of the youth leaders here at the church. And when I was asked to do a daily Devo video on a Psalms, one of my favorite Psalms is Psalms 27. And I would just love it if we dive right in. So Psalms 27 is one written by David, like many of them are written by David. And verse 1 says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When evildoers assail me to eat up my flesh," ew, "my adversaries and foes, it is they who stumble and fall. Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war rise against me, yet I will be confident." And I love this because David is so confident in the Lord, not of himself, not of his army or the people with him, but he is confident in the Lord, that the Lord will carry him through no matter what. And if you know anything about David's life, this man is always just literally being killed, almost being killed. King Saul is almost trying to kill him. Even his own son is always trying to kill him. So David is always on the run. He understands, of all people, what it means to live in fear and to be afraid of things and not knowing what's going to happen next. And yet, in those verses, you see his confidence so much in the Lord, and I love that. Verse 4 is one of my absolute favorites in Psalms 27. It says, "One thing have I asked of the Lord that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple." And verse 4 at the beginning says, "One thing have I asked of the Lord." And David is saying, this is the one thing that I ask of you, God. And I know I'm very guilty of, when I ask the Lord, I'm like, Lord, I want this. Oh, I need that. But how many times do we stop and we're like, okay, Lord, I just want you. I want your presence. I want to dwell with you. I want to walk with you. And that is what David is saying. Like, God, he could have asked the Lord for all these things. Lord, I need this, 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 and that. But he said, all that I ask is to have you, God. And that is one of my biggest challenges for you this morning is in verse 4. Do you desire the Lord's presence over all these other things in your life? And sometimes that's a hard thing, Sometimes it's like, God, I really need this stuff, But the Lord is like, I just want you to ask to be in my presence. And I think that that is such a beautiful thing. And David understood that. He knew what it meant to sit with the Lord and to gaze upon his beauty. Verse 5 says, "For he will hide me in his shelter in the day of trouble. He will conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will lift me high upon a rock." And God is David's protector. Just like how the Lord is our protector now, David was like, I know my God is going to protect me. And verse 6 says, "And now my head shall be lifted up above my enemies all around me, and I will offer in his tent sacrifices with shouts of joy. I will sing and make melody to the Lord. Hear, O Lord, when I cry out loud. Be gracious to me and answer me. You have said, seek my face, and my heart says to you, your face, Lord, do I seek." And that is a prayer that I have written on my window that I ask of the Lord every single morning. And I really love the NLT version of it. I think it's so sweet how the NLT translates things. And it says, "My heart has heard you say, come and talk with me. And my heart responds, Lord, I am coming." And is that your response to the Lord when the Lord's like, hey, come and talk with me, come and talk with me? Are we like, yes, Lord, I'm coming? Or are you like, wait, give me 5 minutes. God, I really got to sort through this stuff. Or hold on 1 second, Lord, I really got to figure this out. Is your response to immediately just be like, yes, Lord, I'm coming? Or do you kind of wait? And I want you to just be like, okay, Lord, I'm coming. And the Lord is like, hey, I want you to come to me. I am here. I want you to talk with me. And let our heart be, Lord, I am coming. Verse 9 says, "Hide not your face from me. Turn not your servant away in anger. O you who have been my help, cast me not off, forsake me not, O God, my salvation. For my father and my mother have forsaken me, but the Lord will take me in." And God is our family. And because of the Lord, you and I will always belong. We will always belong to the Lord, even if we may not have a father or a mother or siblings or any of these things. The Lord is like, you belong to me. I will take you and you are mine. And that is so special. Verse 11 says, "Teach me your way, O Lord, and lead me on a level path because of my enemies. Give me not up to the will of my adversary, for false witnesses have risen against me, and they breathe out violence." And then verse 13, I also want to read back an NLT version because I really like it. It says, "Yet I am confident I will see the Lord's goodness while I am here in the land of the living." And David can say that because he has seen the Lord's goodness. Have you seen the Lord's goodness in your life? I know for myself, I have seen it so many times where I am like, yes, God, I can confidently say I've seen your goodness. And then that encourages me to be like, okay, when things get hard, Lord, like I know that I can look upon your goodness and remember that. And that keeps me going. And then verse 14 ends with, "Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord." And Matt always says, if something's repeated in the Bible, it's important. And twice right there, David repeats, "Wait for the Lord." And so my encouragement this morning to you is to wait for the Lord, to ask yourselves, do I value sitting in God's presence over other things? And just knowing that you belong to the Lord in your life. So I hope that this was an encouragement to you guys, and stay tuned for the rest of the Daily Devos.